I'm Josh Centaur. Welcome to the 3-Minute Drill. How about a rundown of some recent NCAA news? The 2007 Men's Final Four brought a $51.6 million influx to the Georgia economy, according to a recent study by the Atlanta Sports Council. Metro Atlanta saw a $43.9 million boon thanks to the nearly 38,000 fans that traveled to the area for the 4-day event. The Knight Foundation Commission on Intercollegiate Athletics met October 15th to discuss faculty perception of college sports. A webcast of the summit can be found at www.knightcommission.org. The Black Coaches Association released its annual hiring report, which showed a lack of progress in hiring procedures for ethnic minorities. Although the 11 schools that received A grades for their hiring practices was a record high, the 10 that received failing marks also set a new, less appealing precedent. The NCAA is a member-driven organization, but the governance procedures for each of the 3 divisions are different. While representative bodies in Division I make legislative decisions for its membership, Divisions 2 and 3 still abide by a one-institution, one-vote capacity. NCAA Director of Governance, Membership, Education, and Research Services, Delise O'Mealy, explained the differences in a recent interview.
Well, in 1997, Division I went through a major restructuring effort, and that restructuring effort really resulted in more of a representative structure. So in Division I, legislation is adopted by 2 boards, basically. A management council that is representative of all of the Division I conferences, and then above that council, you have a board of directors on which sits 18 presidents from various subdivisions within Division I. Divisions 2 and 3 have continued with the one institution, one vote system, and so essentially in January of every year, Divisions 2 and 3 institutions gather at a national convention, they debate proposals, and they raise their paddles or they press their electronic voting machines and register a vote for a particular proposal, and that's how legislation is adopted by a majority percentage.
When enough of the Division I membership disagrees with the stances taken by its representative bodies, an override can be enacted. This procedure will allow the Division I membership to vote on the legislation in a one-institution, one-vote capacity at the NCAA's annual convention. Overrides have been enacted on 3 Division I proposals, which relate to the elimination of electronic communication with prospective student-athletes, the change of financial aid distribution in baseball, and dates of competition legislation for men's and women's golf. The Division I membership will vote on the legislation in January. Atlantic 10 Associate Commissioner and Division I Management Council Chair Jackie Campbell is familiar with override procedures and took the time to fill us in on the current landscape.
When we get to the Management Council level, you have people voting based on the majority votes in their conference, and everybody determines that majority, differently. I think there's probably a lot of people do it the same, but there's not one process that everybody uses to determine their own majority. So, for example, when I go to the Management Council and vote, we have 14 institutions in our league, and I will base my vote on when we get a majority vote in our league. But say our majority is 8-6, and then that legislation were to pass, those 6 schools may then turn around and send in an override vote.
Thanks so much for tuning into the 3-Minute Drill. We'll see you soon.